She warned us. She told us the truth. And those that didn't like the truth, because we know the truth hurts, started calling her names. But hey, even though you called her names, you still can't erase the truth. But with that said, let's get into this video.
Happy birthday to me. Not really my birthday, but it feels like a birthday. I feel like I should be receiving presents and that somebody should be making me a cake because of this little update on Black Lives Matter. My friends, guess what? They are headed for insolvency after plunging $8.5 million into the red. Wow, what? How didn't they collect $90 million following the George Floyd? Who was it that was saying that it was a scam? I don't remember. Who was the girl that was saying that BLM was definitely a scam?
That I don't support the Black Lives Matter movement whatsoever because the Black Lives Matter movement does not support me. I think that a better title for that movement would be Black Deaths Matter. They seem to protest, they seem to rage, and they seem to ruin, and they seem to support violence when a black person dies. What about when a black person lives? There are tons of black people that are trying to better themselves in their community. There are tons of black people that are disadvantaged by the homes that they are born into and just not having money. These groups do not fund them. They will pay for somebody's funeral, but they will not pay for somebody's college education.
You say Black Lives Matter is what?
Is a political arm for the Democratic Party.
That has been co-opted.
Correct.
Patrisse Cullors continues to lie. Black Lives Matter continues to lie. $90 million, of which $21 million apparently went to, according to Black Lives Matter themselves, it went to building the black movement. Like, I don't even know what that means. $25 million going to building a black movement. Apparently, the black movement was Patrisse moving herself, a black woman moving herself into other areas of the communities of people that she claims are oppressing black Americans. She's fearful of white people. White people are so bad. Well, why doesn't she want to live amongst black people? Oh my God, it was me. It was actually me. I was saying that for years, and I got called all sorts of things. I got called a bed wench. I got called someone that was tap dancing for the white man. And I think what they were really looking for was the phrase that Candace is more intelligent than me and wasn't going to fall for another race hustle.
See, I just told you guys, right, at the beginning of the video, that's exactly what they did. And you know what's funny to me? When I actually reacted to the video about the history of the Democratic Party. And it's like, you know what I realized throughout the videos that I've been reacting to? That every one of these so-called movement, the movement that they're making, the Democratic Party is known for oppressing the black community. And it's true, you can't deny that. I don't know why people can't realize that, but they are oppressing those states. All that money they make, you realize the Democratic Party don't put money into the black community to help it. It don't. Because if they did, come on, it wouldn't be looking the way it is. But the BLM movement, how much money they took from the black community? Did they try to reinvest some of that money in the black community that they say that their movement is for? No. They went, like Candace said, they went to move to the white community, and they invested their money where? In the white community. But they're trying to tell you the white man is oppressing who? You. I think BLM is pretty much done, but let's continue.
That's what Black Lives Matter always was, right? And people that are emotional and are uneducated respond to that, right? They respond to someone saying, the Klansmen are coming back if you don't vote for me. And then they run in the streets and they say, we got to protest Trump because this person tells me the Klansman is coming. But they don't even stop to think. This is what BLM did. They wanted the ultimate hustle, right? They said, okay, we got Trump in office. We've got the media telling everybody that he's aligned with David Duke and that he's literally Adolf Hitler. So now we're going to get the lowest denominator, which we believe to be black Americans, the dumbest people, the least educated people, which, by the way, factually speaking, when you take a look at the literacy rates in America, yeah, it's a bit of a problem. We're going to get those people, expect them to respond emotionally and follow us into the streets. And they can grab some handbags. What they'll get back is a few handbags, and then business owners will move out of their neighborhoods, and they'll be impoverished after they sell those handbags. But we're going to give them some fun. And black people just did it. I mean, it was just so dumb. It was embarrassing. It was foolish. I didn't care, not a single minute when I was called a name, because when you're right, you're right. Okay, when you are right, you are right, and it pays to just wait and let time settle the dust. And boy, has time done just that. Financial disclosures obtained by the Washington Free Beacon show the perilous state of BLM Global Networks Foundation, which officially emerged in 2020, as a more formal way of structuring the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement. Scam. Yet, despite the financial controversy and scrutiny, BLM continued to hire relatives of the founder, Patrisse Cullors, and several board members. Cullors' brother, Paul Cullors, set up 2 companies, which were paid $1.6 million, providing professional security services. Basically, Patrisse Cullors hired all her family, all her friends. She dispersed all of the money to them, and now they're going to leave BLM where it is, dead in the water, because it was never about anything other than hustling white people that feel guilty for being white. They're idiots, and black people that are stupid and are so invested in their race that they suspend logical thinking. Also, idiots. And I don't feel bad for either of these people. But so if you donated to Black Lives Matter because you were feeling white and guilty, or you're feeling black and stupid, I just don't care. You got what you deserved. So go on.
Hey, she tell it like it is. I donated nothing. Something just didn't feel right with that movement. I just got the gut feeling something else wasn't right, and turned out, as me and a lot of other people, we were right. There's no way that you're not correcting the wrong of what people are doing in the black community. You're making them feel, throughout everything that happened, you made everybody feel like there was a victim. You never correct the behavior when they did something wrong that triggers a whole sequence of things had happened and cause that person their life. You don't correct the wrong. They don't do none of that. It's like a parent having a kid. When the kid do something wrong, oh, my kid would never. It's like when the cops pull you over and tell you and they give you orders and the man tell you what to do in case you have a weapon on you. How are you going to try to peel off? How are you going to try to shoot back and not expect the cop to shoot back? They condone this type of behavior. They never correct no wrong whatsoever. And they're supposed to be for the black community. If they were for the black community, they would have want the best. So they would have been telling you what you're doing is wrong. That's like my kids. I love my kids. If they do something wrong, I correct them so they know not to make those mistakes again. That's what you're supposed to do if you're saying you care for someone. I'm just saying.
On Patrisse with your big bad self. Enjoy those millionaire houses. Invite me over, Patrisse. Let's hang out. Okay, speaking of BLM and individuals that are low IQ, who of course end up being the most racist individuals in society and also the most violent individuals in society, because when you don't have any intellect, it's very easy to impart your emotions at all times, and your emotions will spiral and you become physically violent because you don't know how to communicate, you don't know how to rationalize. Well, that was my verdict instantly regarding the adjunct professor at Hunter College yesterday. We showed you who went up to a pro-life group that was simply passing out brochures to state why they were pro-life. And she freaked out, accused them of violence because they didn't agree with her. And then she threw their brochures and attempted to flip the table in this horrific act of violence. And Hunter College was investigating it. And I declared that this is a violent woman. Well, if I had just held on for a few minutes, I would have found that she then was pursued by a New York Post reporter and a cameraman at her house, and she put a machete to the reporter's neck. The footage is unbelievable.
I heard about
Take
that.
a listen.
Away from my door. Get the away from my door.
Let's get out of here. You can't do that.
I mean, it is so shocking. You can't even imagine this taking place anywhere. But I don't know, in a country that is being overtaken by ISIS and they're about to conduct a beheading. That's what she looks like. She looks like an ISIS soldier, which, by the way, many people, the most radical BLM soldiers, were ISIS soldiers, right? They were willing to go this far. So you kind of begin to peel back this onion and you realize, wait, what the hell is happening? She then followed them outside onto the street with this machete and chased them running. Take a look. So what you have at first is these two men. They look like they're maybe going to their car, and she's behind them, and she has her hood up, and she has her machete, and she's pursuing the guy particularly that has the camera, right? Because she thinks he's taking photos, not realizing that there's a dashboard camera that's catching all of this. She is chasing him on foot, and then his partner, who I'm assuming is the actual reporter, then chases her away. Wow. I mean, this is just unbelievable footage. They're running around the car. She is a machete-wielding maniac, but also an adjunct professor at Hunter College who also taught at NYU. This is terrifying stuff. And this is not something to mock. Obviously, this woman should be arrested. And then Hunter College finally said, oh, now we're going to release her. So she's since been fired. But why did it take her wielding a machete to be fired? right? She should have been fired immediately after she violently attacked those kids who simply had brochures. How did she even make it into the hallways of Hunter College or NYU? Oh, I know. It was another DEI initiative where you have a bunch of criminals that are flying under the radar of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because what you are including are people that are insane, that are uneducated, that are low IQ, okay, and that are going to demand that you let them into those spaces to teach what? Militancy. That is exactly what she was there to teach, okay? Calling herself a professor of the arts. No, she's a complete and utter whack job that should be in prison. Want to know another fun fact about this woman? Shalene Rodriguez, that's her name, by the way, is also suing the NYPD, claiming officers abused her when she was arrested in the Bronx during a protest over the murder of George Floyd in June of 2020. Again, I did not have this information yesterday, and none of it surprises me. I made exactly the right prognostications about her, that she's a whack job type BLM protester who is exceedingly violent. And despite her violence, despite having an arrest record with the NYPD, despite the fact that they knew that this individual was a problem and they arrested her, they apprehended this person, she still was allowed to teach in the halls at NYU and Hunter College. She is not the only person that should be fired from Hunter College. The entire ecosystem that ever allowed her into a position to harm children should be fired, right? Whatever it is, it's going to be some DEI office that's looking for unique and artsy individuals with the history of being violent and protesting and standing up for their rights. They should all be fired. They should all be dismissed. And this goes back to something that is wonderful about Ron DeSantis, that he has done this in the state of Florida, that he has said no to adjunct professors like Shalene Rodriguez, who have no place anywhere but in a prison.
Hey, leave it to Candace Owens to break it down like no other. Hey, I totally agree with everything Candace said, and I pretty much everything I need to say throughout the video. Like, people need to start waking up. It's ridiculous at this point. But we all know the people that follow this whole BLM movement and believe in this high delusion of we owe reparations. Lord knows what. Those stuff happened so long time ago. Move on, man. You're living in poverty. You want to sit there and keep waiting for somebody to give you a handout? You know how long that's going to take for them to even consider that? Do you know how long? But you want to sit there and other people's comment and tell them what you think you deserve. At the age of how you in your 20s, but you talk about reparations. Man, go there and work. Get a job. But those are the type of individual that you see that's taken from others what they didn't earn. And that's the problem that we have in the black community. We're so obsessed with taking from others that you didn't work to earn. And that shouldn't be it shouldn't be that way. If you were saying, whatever reason that you're saying, that the white man's holding you down, but for some reason you're only robbing your own brother, how does that even work logically? It's like you just go along with whatever handouts they're handing out, you just go along with it. Like, hey, I totally agree with Candace. And BLM had this coming a long time now. Like, you know what they say, man. What goes around comes around. What they think was going to happen? What goes around eventually comes back around. And that's what she said with the white people that felt bad for black people through the violence that happened, but not sitting back and realizing what led up to those violence that happened. Hey, my favorite quote from Ben Shapiro, facts over feelings. Point blank period. You can't move over feelings with something that's factually happening. If you know what that black person did, let's say, I'm going to leave it with this. Let's just say that black person got pulled over by a cop, right? Cop told him, please, sir, stay in the car. You refuse to sit in the car. You come out the car. Officer told you nicely one more time, please sit. I'll be right back. I just want to run your license. And you tried to grab the officer's gun, and the officer give you a good ass whooping, and something triggered and something went wrong, and the officer ended up shooting you, and you end up dying, right? So now, whole protest. Let's just reverse it now. If it was a white person and that was your white son, wouldn't you tell your son you should have known better? That's what BLM should have did. Tell him he should have known better. The cops did their job. The cop had to protect himself. The cop has to go into a family too, or a wife. He has to protect. How are you gonna try to grab that man's gun for no reason? For no reason whatsoever, because you just felt you're guilty and you were hiding something. Come on, everything that happened with BLM is just common sense. There was no reason. We all know some incidents that happened was unjustified. Yes, we know that. But the majority of them was avoidable. Let's be honest. It was avoidable. Period. Give me guys think about this in the comments, man. People gotta start learning the difference between right and wrong. We're too grown as adults to not know the difference between right and wrong. That's all it comes down to. If you know what you're doing is wrong, don't try to act like what you're doing is right when it's wrong. That's it, man. We gotta start policing our own communities, because the behavior that's going on right now, that's been condoned for so long, is just getting worse. You know, the teenagers acting like they're entitled to something when they're only like 13, 14 years old. Hey, until then, I catch you guys next video. Peace out. You guys have a blessed day.